Ilang beses nating nasaksihan ang kanilang kabayanihan at tapang sa bawat pagkakataong kanilang ipinaglaban ng ating kaligtasan at seguridad sa ngalan ng kapayapaan ng bayan. Ilang buhay ang kanilang ibinuwis para maprotektahan ang buhay ng mas nakararami. Ilang oras ang kanilang iginugugol para sa ating seguridad kapalit ng oras sa kasama ang kanilang mga mahal sa buhay. Yan ang buhay na pinili ng ating mga sundalo. Kaya naman ngayon, samahan natin silang ipagdiwang ang kanilang ika-122 anibersaryo kasama walang iba kundi ang ating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Mabuhay Pilipinas! Ako po si Micaela Guerra ng Radio Television Malacanang at nandito nga tayo sa 122nd Philippine Army Founding Anniversary na may temang 122 Years of Heroism, Serving the People, Securing the Land dito sa Headquarters Philippine Army, Metro Manila. Mamaya po inaasahan natin ang pagdating ng ating Pangulo at maraming kaganapan ang ating masasaksihan. Pero bago ang lahat, bibigyan tayo ng konting pasilip. Kaya naman, makakasama natin ang Philippine Army spokesperson, Lieutenant Colonel Ramon Zagala, para kwentuhan tayo ng konting detalye. Yan. Sir, magandang hapon. Magandang araw po.
Magandang araw, Mika, at sa mga nagsusubaybay, magandang araw.
Sir, ngayon po yung ating 122nd anniversary. Kamusta na po tayo sa ang Philippine Army? Marami na tayong pinagdaanan. Are we getting stronger as years goes by po?
Siyempre, itong ating 122 years of heroism, yan ay tinatranslate natin sa excellence in operational and administrative performance. So, importante sa atin na bilang mga kawani ng hukbong katihan na ang ating performance bilang sundalo ay taasan natin. No? Hindi lamang po sa gera, kundi sa ating administrative function. So, ngayon, as we celebrate 122 years of heroism, ipapakita natin sa ating Pangulo kung saan na tayo ngayon bilang isang organisasyon. No? Earlier, nabanggit mo na meron kaming mobile treatment facility. Ito ay isang patunay na patuloy ang liderato ng hukbong katihan sa ilalim ng ating Commanding General Philippine Army na si Lieutenant General Macariog S. Alberto na bigyan ng importansya ang kalusugan at ang kinakailangan na treatment ng ating kasalundaluhan. Yung medical treatment facilities natin ay isang forward hospital na pwede natin gamitin sa mga areas of operation kung saan pwedeng sa masamang palad, kung matamaan ng ating kasundaluhan, sila ay mabibigyan kaagad ng emergency treatment para ma-ensure natin ang kanilang survivability.
Sir, gaano po kahalaga na bawat division magkaroon nitong medical treatment facility natin na ito?
As you know, no, pag ating kasundaluhan ay nag-ooperate at may tinamaan, within the level ng ating mga operating troops, kaya nilang mag-first aid. Ngunit in between the first aid and the actual medical facility that can help them survive, kailangan natin ng isang forward facility para ang kanilang survivability ay tumaas. Ngayon, sa ngayon, meron tayong limited capacity to do this. So napaka-importante na magkaroon yung ating 11 divisions nitong ganitong facility para kung saan man magkaroon ng conflict, nagkaroon ng gera, pwedeng dalhin to forward at sa masamang palad may tamaan at kailangan ng emergency treatment, kagad-kagad ang lunas na mabibigay.
Sir, maliban po sa ating medical treatment facility, ano pa po yung magiging highlight ng ating anniversary ngayong araw? Ano pa po yung inaasahan nating igagawad at ipapakita sa ating Pangulo mamaya?
Well, dito sa araw na to, pakikita natin syempre ang ating medical facilities, our mobile command post. Papakita rin natin ang various equipment natin, both for firepower and protection, mga armored personnel carrier, engineering equipment, and the likes. No? Sa baba, meron tayong display ng mga various Army capabilities of the future. Papakita rin natin sa ating Pangulong ng future soldier. No? The future soldier is where we want the Philippine Army to be. Pakita natin yung kagamitan, ang kanyang pang-proteksyon, communication, at lahat yan ay for the appreciation of our President at sa mga nanonood natin mga kababayan na makikita rin nila. On the program itself, meron tayong mga kawani ng hukbong katihan na bibigyan ng awards ang ating Pangulo. At syempre, ang highlight ng ating programa ay marinig ang message ng ating Pangulo, ano ang kanyang utos na ibibigay sa kanyang hukbong katihan.
Sir, how about the Brigade Modular Command Facility? What is this about po?
As you know, no, in every operations, ang importante is command and control. So, itong mga facilities na to ay pakikita natin sa Pangulo upang i-highlight na pwede tayo mag-deploy ng command and control facilities and support facilities sa operating troops natin. No? Kung magkaroon ng kaguluhan sa isang liblib na lugar, self-contained siya with power and water, with communication facilities that can easily be able to support command and control operating troops. So itong facility na to ay importante para mabigyan natin ng sapat na liderato ang ating mga sundalong nag-ooperate.
Sir, maiba po ako ng konti. Kamusta po ang buhay ng isang sundalo?
Sa ngayon, no, ang mga sundalo ay nagagalak, no? Kasi syempre ang ating Pangulo tinaasan ng ating sweldo. At sa pagtaas ng aming sweldo, syempre alam namin may kaakibat na pagbibigay ng mahusay na serbisyo. So sa ngayon, ang ating hukbong katihan ay nagfo-focus po tayo sa continuous education at training ng ating mga kasundaluhan to be able to put the best and the brightest and performance-based assignment para lahat ng mga key positions, key areas of concern na may units tayo ay malagyan natin only the very best and the brightest. So patuloy po ang hukbong katihan na i-develop ang hukbong katihan hindi lamang sa gamit, modern equipment, kung hindi modern thinking soldiers, professional, responsible, and loved by the people.
Sir, maraming salamat po at asahan namin na mas titibay pa ang pagkilos ng ating mga militar dahil sa suporta ng ating gobyerno, lalong-lalo na po ng ating Pangulo. Maraming salamat po, sir.
Maraming salamat.
Yan mga kababayan ang dapat nating asahan mamaya sa pagdating ng ating Pangulo. Kagaya nga na sabi ni Lieutenant Colonel Zagala, meron tayong medical treatment facility kung saan ito ay isang 6x6 truck converted into an operating room. Mayroon ding mga mobile hospitals kung saan kompleto sa mga medical apparatus ang ating Philippine Army. Ito ay dahil sa tulong ng kanilang mga private medical partners na nagpahiram ng mga kagamitan. Makikita natin na ang ilan sa mga kagamitan dyan ay talaga ng mga safe dahil tested na ng US Army, US Air Force at US Navy. Ito rin ay ligtas na isakay sa C-130 dahil kaya nitong mag-function kahit ito ay 30,000 feet above sea level. Kaya naman nagbabakasakali po ang ating Philippine Army na ito ay maigawad rin sa 10 divisions natin dito sa Pilipinas dahil talaga namang malaking tulong ito para sa ating mga tropa na nag-ooperate sa field. Yan, maya-maya mga kababayan, makikita natin ang personal na pagbisita ng ating Pangulo dyan. Asahan din natin ang kanyang mensaheng ibibigay sa ating Philippine Army, lalo pat sa mga nagdaang taon ay mas tumibay ang kanilang paglaban at paggawa ng kanilang serbisyo para sa bayan. Nandirito rin ang ilan sa mga kapamilya at awardees ng Medal of Valor ng Philippine Army na talagang iginugol ang kanilang buhay para sa serbisyo. Kaya naman samahan niyo po kami at atin silang bigyang pugay ngayong araw. Mga kababayan, napapanood niyo po kami sa aming Facebook page, Radio Television Malacanang, kaya huwag niyo pong kalimutang i-like at i-share ang aming page nang sa ganun ay manatiling updated sa mga lakad ng ating Pangulo. Maya-maya lang po ay magsisimula na ang ating programa, kaya't samahan niyo po kami at sabay-sabay nating bigyang pugay ang ating mga magigiting na sundalo. With great power comes great responsibility. Kaakibat ng mga pribilehiyong natatamasa ng ating mga kasundulahan ang mabigat na responsibilidad na kanilang hawak at ito ay panatilihin ang kaligtasan at seguridad ng ating bayan. Hindi madali ang buhay na napili ng isang sundalo. Ika nga nila nakalibing nasa hukay ang isa nilang paa at ang mas mahirap pa dito ay ang pagkalayo nila sa kanilang mga pamilya. Kaya naman saludo din kami sa mga pamilya at asawa ng ating magigiting na sundalo dahil sa pagmamahal, pag-iintindi, pag-uunawa at suporta na kanilang hatid sa ating mga sundalo. Ngayon po, ay talaga namang araw ng ating mga bayaning nagbuwis ng buhay, nagbuwis ng oras para sa bayan. Mga kababayan, nais kong ibahagi ang isang kwento na aking nakalakihan. Ika nga ng isang sundalong ama sa kanyang anak na pumasok man siya sa serbisyo at lagi man siyang wala sa tabi nito, ang pagseserbisyo sa bayan ang pinakamagandang paraan niya para ipakita ang pagmamahal sa anak dahil hindi lamang buhay nito ang kanyang pinoprotektahan, maging ang bayan na kakalakihan ng kanyang anak at ang bayan na talagang gugugol at huhulma sa buhay ng kanyang anak. Kaya naman sa ating mga kabataan ngayon, ating intindihin, suportahan ng ating mga magulang na nasa serbisyo dahil hindi madali sa kanila ang malayo sa atin, ngunit pinipili nila ito dahil ito ang pinakamagandang paraan para tayo ay kanilang protektahan. Mamaya mga kababayan, sa pagdating ng ating Pangulo, gagawaran po niya ng Certificate of Recognition ng ating mga uniform personnel and civilian personnel na nag-ambag para ma-accomplish ang mga misyon ng Philippine Army. Mamaya rin ay igagawad niya ang 2 susi sa 2 newly built, fully furnished house units dito sa Philippine Army Headquarters. At maya-maya lang po, maririnig din natin ang mensahe ng Pangulo para sa ating mga magigiting na sundalo. Gaya po na napag-usapan namin ni Lieutenant Colonel Zagara kanina, umaasa sila na mabibigyan ng medical treatment facilities ang Philippine Army dito sa Pilipinas dahil talagang importante ito lalo pat hindi natin hawak ang ating kapalaran at laging on the go ang ating mga sundalo sa field. Kaya naman mas mahalaga at importante na mabigyan sila ng medical treatment facilities nang sa ganon hindi lamang kaligtasan ng ating mga kababayan ang kanilang masigurado, kundi ang kaligtasan din nila mismo bilang sila ang ating tagapagligtas. Mga kababayan, nandito po ngayon sa ating programa ang ilan sa mga Army wives na talagang nagpakita ng suporta sa kanilang mga mister na nasa misyon. Kanina nga po nagkaroon kami ng panayam sa kanila at kanilang naibahagi kung gaano kahirap sa kanila sa tuwing nadidestino sa mga gera ang kanilang mga asawa. Kung matatandaan po natin, ilang taon na nakakaraan, nagkaroon tayo ng Marawi Siege kung saan ilang buhay ng mga Philippine Army natin ang nasakripisyo para sa kaligtasan ng nakararami. Sumunod nga ang ilan sa mga encounter sa ating mga NPA at ang nangyaring putukan o pagbobomba ng isang simbahan sa Sulu kung saan ilang buhay rin ng Philippine Army ang nasakripisyo. Kaya inaanyayahan ko kayo na sa ating pagtulog o sa ating pagising at bigyan natin sila ng konting oras sa ating pang-araw-araw at mag-alay tayo ng panalangin hindi lamang po sa mga sundalo na nagbuwis ng buhay, kundi pati sa mga sundalo pa rin na hanggang ngayon ay nasa serbisyo pa at patuloy na inaalay ang kanilang katapangan at kagitingan sa bayan. Ayan mga kababayan, maya-maya lang po, darating na ang ating Pangulo. Sa kasalukuyan, binibisita muna niya ang ating libingan ng mga bayani kung saan siya mismo ngayon ay nagbibigay pugay at nagpapasalamat, nag-alay ng konting dasal para sa mga bayaning ibinuwis ang kanilang buhay para sa atin. Dito mga kababayan, pasado 2:00 pa lamang kaninang hapon, marami nang dumagsang mga military o mga kasama kapatid natin sa Philippine Army, kasama nga ang ilan sa kanilang mga pamilya. Amin ding nakita ang ilan sa mga Valor awardees at ang mga wounded Philippine Army members na ngayon ay gagawaran din ng ating Pangulo ng mga special awards. Sa amin pong pag-iikot kanina, nagkaroon kami ng pagkakataong makausap at makakwentuhan ang ilan sa mga sundalo natin. At ayon nga sa kanila, isa sa pinakamahirap na trabaho o isa sa pinakamahirap na kinakaharap nila sa kanilang trabaho ay ang pagkalayo nila sa kanilang pamilya. Hindi man po natin nahahalata dahil makisig man ng kanilang mga tindig. Sa loob-loob ay malambot din ang puso ng ating mga sundalo. Sabi pa ng aking nakausap na sundalo kanina, mahirap ang malayo sa pamilya, mahirap na hindi sila makasama sa mga espesyal na okasyon at mas mahirap sa tuwing nag-aalala sila sa kaligtasan ng ating mga kasamang sundalo. Kaya naman sa ating lahat, inaanyayahan po namin kayo na talagang suportahan ang ating mga sundalo. Kung ano man ang mga pribilehiyong kanilang natatamasa o natatanggap ngayon, ay talaga namang deserve nila yon dahil hindi madali ang kanilang pinagdadaanan. Kanina po mga kababayan, kagaya ng aking nabanggit, mayroong medical treatment facility na inihanda ang ating Philippine Army. Nais nila tong ipakita sa ating Pangulo nang sa ganun ay makita ng ating Pangulo na mahalaga at importante na magkaroon ng medical treatment facility dito sa Philippine Army. Nais sana nila na ang 11 divisions ng Philippine Army dito sa Pilipinas ay magawaran ng medical treatment facilities. Kasi nagpapasalamat din sila sa kanilang medical partners dahil sa pagpapahiram ng mga medical apparatus sa kanila nang sa ganun maisagawa nila ang display at sample na ipapakita nila sa ating Pangulo. Yes, mga kababayan, ngayon po ay nasa area na ang ating presidente at maya-maya lang magsisimula na po ang aming programa. Bago yan, nais ko po munang batiin lahat ng kasundaluhan sa buong mundo. Hindi man namin kayo makasama ngayong araw. Ang iba sa inyo, bagamat nagsiselebrate ng anniversary ang Philippine Army ay nasa duty pa rin. Ang iba sa inyo ay talaga namang nag-aalay pa rin ng serbisyo. Nais pa rin namin ipaabot sa inyo ang aming galak sa serbisyo, katapangan at kabayanihan na inyong inaalay para sa bayan. Kaya para sa ating mga magigiting na kasundaluhan, saludo po kami sa inyo. Kaya naman mga kababayan, eto po at maghanda-handa na po tayo dahil magsisimula na po ang ating programa. Muli, ako po si Micaela Guerra ng Radio Television Malacanang. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Nagpipitagan ng panahon. We welcome you all to the Philippine Army. Pwedeng hanggang dito lang siya.
Accomplishment of the command's mission and in realizing the vision of having a world-class army that is a source of national pride by 2028. The President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, will grace this occasion. Meantime, please make yourselves comfortable as we await the unfolding of this event. Also, please be reminded of your mobile phones. Kindly set them to silent mode, and so with the other electronic devices as we begin with the ceremony.
Welcome sir sa Fort Bonifacio facility natin sir. Our main dito sir, Camp Colonel Nagarasol. Good. Maayong hapon sir.
Uy, ma'am. Atras kasi baka matisok.
Yes sir. Yun yung atong kuwan sir, real sir. Yan dito pina-sort or categorize sa mga pasyente according to the degree of difficulty sir. And then sir, mo aditasan sa treatment facility sir. Kini sir, manned by mga sundalo lang natin sir, atong mga medics.
Trained na medic.
Trained medics sir. And then diri sir, kami mga naay mga grabe nga sama, diri natin treat sir. Kini ang treatment sir. Kini sir. IT last. Then kuha ng iyahang sir. Short femoral artery center. So, hindi siya pwede sir na ordinary tourniquet. So, naatay junctional tourniquet sir. Kasi taas man sa mga tourniquet. So, we need the junctional tourniquet. So, these also are manned by soldiers. Sir, was yung sir. By also manned by soldiers. Sir, fractured femur. So, fractured femur, sabi na siya kayo, sir, kasi ang dito, sir, puncture na siya, sir, sa laman. So, naatay, kini, sir, traction split, sir. Yung traction, so, parang hinihila niya, sir, yung laman, para at least yung bone, sir, yung fractured bone, hindi tutusok talaga, sir, sa ano. Kasi grabe, yan ang grabe pain talaga, sir, sa mga soldado. Yan, sir, so, extend niya, sir, and then at the same time, split, sir. So, ito yung mga kailangan namin, sir, sa conferment. Pwedeng gamitin natin.
Wala mong kawak. Bitawan ko.
Kasama na po.
How many divisions? 11 divisions. Pero tingnan namin siya na yung mga priority area. At division apat yung dapat. Talaga officer, yung sa mga bayan. We need around 8 chef. 400
Dong?
Sak.
Yung centimeter ilang kanila?
Sama na sa to.
Bali ilang?
Ilang teto.
Sir, yung ano sir, after sir, ang sub-10 sir, is 12 minutes sir. Kasi we have sir mobile sir. Pero huwag mo
Dito siya,
yung mga
nakagamit.
yes sir.
Sila 400 million. First take. Itong ganito, for yung 50 million mo, mga nasa nilistahan.
Naanak yung po yung listahan, sir. Ang hindi ko mag-up. Sir, estimated price, sir. One casualty care, 13 contribution po.
30.
30, sir. Pero kung may 10, sir. Additional, sir.
May blood ba?
Yes, sir.
Kaya sa natin siya yung operating. Kasama na itong operating committee sa victim. Okay. Pero yun yung mahal, sir. Ito mo nila mga practice, ha? Baka talaga matulong na yan.
At hindi, sir, sir, diagnostic area, sir. So, before sila i-operahan, sir, na cardiac compression, sir. Para, sir, kahit na isa lang, sir, so you can manage. So, we can also use, sir, for the training.
Ma'am, baka yung Pinatawagan ko yung passport. Ang pudo. Pag puno yun naman, bago na talaga. Kita mo na yun.
Colonel Rodrigo, sir, ating medical officer.
Sasalawin na lang siya. Kumisisya ka na dun sa corner left. Dito na lang ka. Boss.
Masikip lang dito, sir. Sir, ito. Ito ang ilan nagla-live. Sir, ito nagla-live.
Masikip na malaka.
Basta nagla-live.
malaman ito ng mga Amerikano, pati ano, i-pirate it.
Yes, sir. Military truck po dito. Bigyan ng lubon po, sir, and in-sterilize po.
Mura ito kasi binibinta sa atin na mahal-mahal. Dollars yun, million dollars.
Wala pa siguro. I'm trying to get in touch with the enforcer book. Sabi ko na 400 million.
Kahit ano siguro sir, kasi walo na yun sir, walo na sir. Kahit apat lang muna sir.
Papunta pa na ako
Dito na
lang.
sir, dito na
3 minutes, sir, for 6 days.
Ayun ang gumagawa?
Yung RDC natin, sir.
Binibili ng mga materials. Binibili ng mga materials.
Yes.
Bili ka ng sasakyan.
Military truck.
Military truck.
Ay, yung rasa na binigay?
Russian na sir, ito yan sir. Talaga.
Tulong na. Ito na yung committee.
Meron pa tayong grant na bibigay sa mga ano ko ng staff.
Ilang
1 million pesos.
yung sa matibay itong sa defense.
And sir, may naging ruggedized po for the Philippines.
Mga gamit, hindi siya ano sir. Kahit makalog, sisira.
That's usually how to run. Sino ang andyan mo? Buwel. Legend.
Cellphone. Kunyari, ipakat na ipang mo. Kenny.
Thank you, thank you.
Wala pa mo siya po ganiha.
No need of oxygen tank, sir. Ang use is room air, sir. And then an aspirator and a mechanical CPR, sir. These are all military grade, sir. Pwedeng ibagsak, pwedeng ihalis-halis, sir. And then airworthy, sir. Pag above 30,000 feet na ilipad ng C-130, magpa-function pa rin, sir, ang machine. System siya, sir. So it can be carried by isang nurse lang, sir. Hindi, ako lang muna. Pwede siya, sir, i-transport ko na. Pwede, sir, modular. Iiwalay ko lang, sir. Tapos, buhati ko, sir. Yun, sir. Dalawa, iakyat na namin, sir, sa ambulance or sa chopper or sa operating room, sir. So, ito yun, sir. Ang kailangan namin, sir, ito dahil ito ay pang critical care, sir. Mabubuhay yung pasyente, sir, pag may mga life-saving device nila dito, sir. So, because we believe, sir, every soldier counts, sir.
I am with you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm looking for
Sir, meron pa ako ipakita, sir. Yung iPhone, sir. Yung future nurse. devices siya, sir, lahat. Ito, sir, ang combat tourniquet, which can prevent bleeding, which is the #1 cause of death, sir. Ito, sir, yung combat trauma bandage, sir. Tapos ito, sir, yung isang water filter, sir, na pwedeng i-connect niya sa water container niya. It could filter up to 100,000 water, sir. Then, learning from the incident in Marawi, sir, maraming nagka-dengue, so meron na rin kami, sir, insect repellent, sir. Tapos, meron pa, sir, mga bandage at sa mga chest trauma, sir, or chest injury, sir. Dati nag-improvise lang kami, sir. Takpan ng plastic ang butas sa chest. Ngayon, sir, may chest seal na, sir. So, design dito, sir, based on our study dito sa Philippine Army, sir. Ito ang mga kailangan ng soldier natin, sir. Individual, sir. Yes, sir. Ito, sir, ang lagayan niya, sir. Kasya lahat dito. So, makakasave, sir. Magawa ng sundalo, sir, mag-isa lang siya. Malagay niyo yung tourniquet.
Have the 400 million. Okay, ma'am. So, I want another for this. Ito.
Isama na natin siya. Galing sa 12,000.
12,000, sir, isang kit, sir.
Makuha na ito. Individual soldiers at another.
Pero kaya na namin.
Billion yan.
Kaya na namin.
Yun na ihabol na lang natin. Maybe there is a supplemental. Wala ang budget niya yun. You're operating on the wala talagang budget niya. Congress, talaga totoo. Walang pera. Wala akong konsulto sa inyo. Anong, kaya pilihan mo, anong gusto ninyo? Walang pera ang gobyerno. Walang budget, wala lahat. Guys, sa Amerika, nabuti doon yung mayaman yung mga tao dito. Hindi mo silduhan niya sundalo dito. Bilin eh.
Sir, may pakilala pa ako sa inyo, sir. Meet Lieutenant Lorenzo, sir, our future medical team, sir. Ito na, sir, ang mukha ngayon ng medical team. Dati, BP apparatus lang ang dala, tsaka combat dressing. Ngayon, sir, may trauma kit na, sir. Meron na rin siyang PPE, sir, para hindi siya matamaan ng bala, sir. Tsaka, meron na rin, sir, kanyang survival kit, sir. Yan na yung future, namin, sir, medical team. Ganyan na, sir, yung
Kaya.
Yes, sir.
Nurse ka, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Saan ka nag-graduate?
In UST, sir. University of Santo Tomas, sir.
Ano ka ng sundalo?
No, sir. Civilian, sir.
Si Godchoy.
Yes, sir.
So, okay na ako, ha?
Yes, sir.
Ganun yung 400 million. So,
Yes, sir.
want to visit you sometime. Gusto ko lang makita.
Yes, sir.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. Prototype na sir.
Si Andrea, maraming pera. Hindi mo katugal. Inalang kontra magbuhat ko na, pahuway pa.
Nakawin ko no?
Picture ng misis.
Itago sa ilang sa ulan.
Picture ng misis yan o girlfriend?
Tingnan naman kasagaran ang daanan sa sandalo, sir, na sila ay ginabutan sa ilang mga bed, sir.
Tinuod o bisa mo itong kultura ro.
Artista to, sir. Si Raisa Soberano, sir.
Ikaw maminyo na ka?
Yes, sir.
Mga imong picture, ginabutang po sa
Adili, sir. Masiglain din ginabutan, sir. Sundalo man po, sir.
ako sila.
Yes, sir. Proceed po tayo sa next.
Commanders, partners pa to.
EP, sir. EP.
Next na po kami, sir, o ang ano,
Ay, ganun ba? Sige, okay lang. Thank you.
Na mo'y makita ang sakit, diretso na ni ma'am. Kagwapo sa kinabuhi sa sundalo, mahulig nga. At least ma-approximate natin yung nagkikita natin sa sini sa mga Amerikano. Ma'am, basta kagwapa rin yung kagwapa, mataas na lang ang presyon ng tao. Ito ang dahilan.
sir, 120 over 70, sir.
Picture mo naman.
Sir, okay lang po, sir. Sir, okay lang po.
Hindi rin na lang, sir.
Oo. Oo.
Picture po kami, sir.
Sa likod mo, ma'am.
Tindog po. Tindog po.
Hindi, likod na. Ayaw. Gusto niya mag... Group na lang ako.
Yes, sir.
Sir, Teresa, sir.
Huwag mo ang sundan ito, sige lang, sick day day.
Sige, masakit, sir.
Sir, umuga may sira. Sir, Teresa ko sir, ma'am.
Unyan ako, sir, ka special. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, kasi kasasunod nga bilhin na lang. Thank you, sir.
Army Mobile Operations Center, sir. Gi-build niya siya, sir, para sa atong field unit commander, sir, na makapag-command and control sa atong mga tactical units na nag-engage sa combat o disaster operations. Mao ni atong mga, sir, ito yung bumubuo sa ating Mobile Operations Center. Una, sir, itong interactive projector. Bali, nagplano ang atong Army, sir, na mag-procure ani kay sa karon, sir, wala pa ta ani nga gadgets, equipment, sir. Ang interactive projector, sir, interactive siya, sir, kay projector siya as well as widescreen na rin siya, sir. Maka-view tag mapa, sir, kung may mga plano ang atong mga commander, pwede na siya gamitan on, sir, dito na sa actual white.
Marker.
Dito, sir. Pag enemy, sir, red, parang one, sir, ba? Overlay. Yes, sir. So, hindi ka na magamit og acetate. Dito, sir, pagkulo naman, sir, 24, sir. Sir, kung sa example, sir, sa 10 ID, sir, naabot sila yung ani, kung unsay gibuhat diri, sir, makita po nila dito sa 10 ID. Kung naa sila yung ani nga equipment, sir.
10 ID ito.
Sir.
Ito, naka-meeting na.
Yes, sir. Naka 10 ID, sir. So, mga niya itong interactive projector, sir. Yes, sir. Sa karon, sir, wala pa taana, sir. Para kung mag-procure na, sir.
Pila?
200,000, sir.
Pesos?
Yes, sir. Ang isa ka, 200,000, sir.
Mura ito yung kuwang nimo?
Naapa, sir. Wala pa matalaman, sir.
5,000. Overlay na lang ako.
Kaya ito tanaw.
Yes, sir.
Overlay na lang ako.
Naman, sir. Diri, sir, sa imong to, sir. Mao niya ito ang VTC, sir. Video Teleconferencing Section. Ang atong mga commander, sir, sa brigade units nato, sir, nanay, sir. So, karon, sir, example, sir, na ata diri sa HPA, tawagan nato ang 10 ID, sir. Sila karon, sir, nag-atang, sir. Pwede nimo sila istoryahan, sir.
NID, HPA.
ID, sir, mayang hapon.
Mayang hapon, sir. Bata-bata, sir, ninyo. Like to congratulate everybody sa anniversary. And I would like to rest assure you that you have my full backing at my priority kayo sa panahon ko. Sana tinitignan ko kung ano kung may dagdag. I had a talk with the CEO, tapos si Commanding General ninyo, and we will be setting up another force. We just found the money now. Tawag ako at meron. So, you have an additional of this kind. Yung pa yung hospital. Gusto ko madagdagan. And could only cost us something like 400 million. Nakuha ko kaagad. Huwag mo bala yung surf. I just got it now, no confirmation na may pera. Kunin bukas ni Secretary Lorenzana at maidagdag sa complex. So guys, remain strong. Ano naman tayo matalo? Pitsugi naman yung kalaban natin. Finish them off. Para let us, kung maaari, kasi I'm not trying to be proud of anything, but I do not know who would succeed me. Kaya, maaari, you are best protected during my term. Tapusin na lang natin ito for our children and our the next year. Tapusin natin ito. Kaya yung kay season wala na, I'm not available for any other talks. Pinutol ko na, so let's just try to work hard and finish them para the next generation will be freed of fear, anxiety, stress, ang mga anak natin and their children. So, hindi ko alam kung sinong presidente masunod. Whether he would be sympathetic, meron kasi may mga, hindi naman but ang priorities kasi ng tao iba-iba eh. So mine, have always been, since I was mayor in Davao, kilala naman ninyo ako, kayo napunta ng Mindanao, I've always insisted on law and order. Tandaan ninyo, without law and order, at saka hindi natin ma-intog ang corruption, we will never develop a nation. No matter if you give a mayor, a person, 5 or 10 terms, if there is no order in our country, there is, they don't feel safe, tapos magulo, and the children cannot go out because they have been robbed of the space by criminals. Wala talaga. I do not think that we'll be able to pass to the next generation. It's just around the corner. So, sa panahon ko, we have my full protection. And I have taken the full legal responsibility of answering all that is, well, letse-letse magkamalas, basta performance of duty. I will not allow anybody, any member of the armed forces of the Philippines or of the police to go to jail. Yan masahan ninyo yan. Akin yan, kaya ako ang dinibanda ng mga gago eh. No, they want that to defile the cases. Akala naman nila magpahuli ako, nandito man ako magtago rin sa, dito. Higa-higa na lang ko dyan, kaganda ng bunker dito, aircon. So, I would rather stay prisoner in this camp. Hindi naman ako maano, basta ako ang bahala. I take full responsibility. Trabaho lang kayo at mabuhay kayo. Mayroon kayong suporta sa akin. Mabuhay ang Army.
Sir, naabot tayo IP phone sa ipabaw siya sa sarili. Yes, sir. Local number, sir. Pag may mga emergency, ang commander, sir, diretso makatawag o asan na brigade, sir. Asan ngayon. Sir, at the heart of this facility, sir, mga na itong gitawag nga watch section, sir. Sa left screen, sir, makita niyo mo, sir, ang tawag na mga na, sir, is Blue Force Tracking System, sir. Blue Force Tracking System.
May drone ka, wala?
Wala pa, sir. Ang sa Blue Force Tracking, sir, kung operations ang mga tropa, sir, example, sir, one squad, mga sila, sir, operate, ma-monitor ng commander, sir, kung asan na sila na location, sir, ma-locate, ma-monitor sila, sir, actual monitoring, sir. Karang tulo ka box, sir, natay tropa na naasa gawa, sir, mo na ilang nalakaw, sir, karang na mga trace, sir, glowing, yung green, pink, at saka white, sir, mo na ilang na movement, sir. Sa right, sir, mo na itong gitawag na Geographical Information System, sir. Mo po nigigamit sa atong commander, sir, na ma-update sila sa mga latest na events, mga happenings, sir. Kung na-encounter, sir, example, sir, na-encounter, i-click lang nun niya sa isa ka unit, sir. Gawas diya, sir, example, sir, dyan sa dato. Yung gorilla, sir. Yan, sir. Yan yung nangyari, sir. Encounter, sir, March 15, 2019. So, naadiha ang events, sir, na ito po. Unsa yung resulta, sir, o action taken o i-responde sa unit, sir, na in charge sa area, sir.
Gamitin natin ang air assets natin para mas madali. Very good. I'm satisfied.
So, dito ta sa pinaka-left mo, sir. Ito ang communication section nato, sir. Diri, sir, deployable command and control communication system, sir. Bali, naadira, tactical radio, sir, UHF. Bali, di-design na siya, sir, para kung asa man o ato, kinahanglan og mga tactical communication, sir, madala siya sa bisag asa. So, mao siya, gitawag siya, sir, of deployable tactical radio communication, sir. Then, itong IP phone nato, sir, capable po siya, sir, na mutawag, bisag telepono lang siya, sir, pwede siya mutawag sa karing tactical radio, sir, na handset.
Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, this is base, over.
Yes, sir. UHF, PHF.
Standby monitor, Robert.
So, ito yung capability, sir. Telephone, padulog, tactical, sa radio. So, naapo diri sa facility na ito, sir, is news monitoring, signal cable television, sir. Then kung walay sir, for emergency monitoring natay transistor radio, sir. Dito, sir. Then dito, sir, ito yung CCTV, sir. CCTV. Ito yung closed circuit television, sir. Bali, ma-monitor na to, sir. Ang example dito, sir, is yung sa inside HPA compound, sir. Ma-monitor yung mga daily activities, sir. CCTV, sir. Yan, sir. So, makita, sir, mga daily for physical security ng campus, sir. So, ma-monitor lahat ng movements ng sa sulod sa campus.
Gapo, ma'am. I like it.
Yes, sir. What's your
Thank you.
Pwede bang tanggalin mo na itong antena na to? Wala mang gamit to. Tanggalin mo na natin ito. Maluwag naman eh.
Battalion, sir.
Tulungan batalyon commander, sir.
Signals commander ng batalyon. Batalyon commander, batalyon commander, batalyon commander. Picture mo si Buha.
Pero ikaw yung nagdala sa...
Oo,
Pero sa Davao.
Okay, tama na yan. Tama na kayo. Okay, okay. Hoy, kanto lang. Alright, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sikat ito.
Yung sakay, anak?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, hindi, ma'am. Tubag. Ako, sigurado na.
Yes, ma'am. Michelle, wala tayo lang wala sa sabay. Wala tayo. Bahala sila din. Bahala si Javi. Siyempre.
We'd like to request all our guests to be seated now. Once again, we'd like to request all our guests to be seated now. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we would like to remind you of your mobile phones. Kindly set them to silent mode and so with the other electronic devices as soon as we begin with the ceremony.
Buti ba ikaw nagsasabi, yung kanina hindi, sabi napuntis ko rin kami. Iba yung instruction sa SAS na. Siyempre sa marami. Kanina. Siyempre pa nga, nakabi na ng instruction sa ito. Sabi ko, sino ba sinabi niya? Opo, maraming pa. Sana buti ba yung mga mag-uniform mo? Hindi mo, oo, para, kasi kayo hindi nyo rin naman sila pagdadal sila, kasi hindi nyo naman sila mapansin. Para tuloy yung iba, kung sana lang sila punta na nakatayo, doon lang sila tumawid. Kaya nila, kasi hindi rin alam ng mga ibang municipal. Kasi yung 3 para sa ikot ko nga yun. Gigib ko yung
We'd like to request everyone to please settle down. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Philippines and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Ikaw ang Pangulo para sa pagbabago. Sawa na ang bayan ko sa magnanakaw na tao. Madilim na kahapon, ikaw ang mag-aahon sa piling mo.
Please be seated. Magandang gabi sa ating lahat, lalo tigit sa ating mga pinagpipitaganang panauhin. Lubos ang aming kagalakan na kayo'y makapiling sa okasyon ng ikasandaan at 22 taong anibersaryo ng Hukbong Katihan ng Pilipinas. As we observe the Philippine Army's 122nd founding anniversary, we, the members of this valued institution, beam with pride and distinction over the achievements realized with discipline, devotion to duty, heroism, and courage with unsurpassed fervor. And as we now proceed with the ceremony, please all stand for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem. Please remain standing for the invocation to be officiated by the Army Chief Chaplain, Colonel Raul S. Sr.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we praise and thank you for the privilege of showing your love through our service to the nation. We thank you for bringing us to this special day, the 122nd Philippine Army founding anniversary. It is in this event that we remember your countless blessings in the past, and we pray that you would continue to bless us in all our needs. Lord, we implore your mighty help so that we may continue our mission for the Filipino people. Sustain the good works you have begun in us. Imbue us with the enduring values of honor, patriotism, and duty, and help us to be effective instruments of security, peace, and goodwill. May this momentous occasion give us inspiration to achieve our vision of a world-class army that is a source of national pride. We commend to your gracious care and we ask you to keep safe all the gallant men and women of the Philippine Army across the land. Hold our troops in your loving hands and protect them day by day as they dedicate themselves in serving the people and securing the land. We are indeed a grateful nation for the Philippine Army's 120 years of heroism. This is our prayer. In Jesus' name, Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. To formally welcome everyone on this occasion, we have the Commanding General of the Philippine Army, Lieutenant General Macairog S. Alberto.
To President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Secretary Delpin Lorenzana, Secretary Jimenez C. Esperon Jr., General Benjamin Madrigal, other senior officers present. We have with us Secretary Rolando Osilito Bautista, Secretary Salvador Pañuelo, Secretary Carlito Galvez, Yusek Arthur Tabaquero, Christopher Lawrence Bongo, Mayor Lani Cayetano, and my ever supportive better half, Mrs. Jessica Alberto. Major service commanders present, unified commanders, former commanding generals, Medal of Valor awardees, members of Team Army, GHQ Joint Staff, our stakeholders, members of the Philippine Army Multi-Sector Advisory Group, awardees, with their families, our battle casualties, sergeant majors, members of the Philippine Army Officers Ladies Club, Foreign Armed Forces attaches, and to all the brave men and women of the Philippine Army, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. On behalf of the men and women of the Philippine Army, it is my honor to welcome you all to this celebration of our 122nd founding anniversary. As an institution of the Filipino society, we have been constantly shaped by the pulse and rhythm of our sovereign nation's growth. Ever since we took up arms and fought for our freedom. From our beginning as a revolutionary army in 1897, we have since taken on many different roles as demanded by the times and urgent national concerns. Today, we celebrate our heritage as the defender of peace and protector of the sovereign Filipino territory. First responder, humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, and community for pillar and progress. At the heart of all this is the Filipino soldier. Our soldiers have always been at the front lines, defending the peace and securing the land. They protect life and property in disaster situations and assist the civilian government in the pursuit of progress and development. From the Revolutionary Army to the present-day Philippine Army, many a hero has served and sacrificed life and lived in the name of freedom and peace. The best way to honor our heroes, all those who have served and sacrificed, is by not letting their sacrifices go to waste. We must always ensure that the freedom and democracy they fought, bled, and died for stay strong. We must secure the hard-earned peace, decisively end all threats to that peace, and continue to train and prepare for the threats of tomorrow. In the last 12 months, the Philippine Army has made major strides as a consequence of consistent and committed push for reform and transformation. Our operational readiness has been raised for all units. We are focused on maximizing our resources to deliver the personnel, training, services, and equipment needed by our frontline units. We will make sure that the best personnel, both officers and enlisted personnel, are deployed in the right job, and we have established a human resource management system anchored on a performance-based selection system and training management system that truly trains for the need of any given position. The Philippine Army would also like to thank President Rodrigo Roa Duterte for providing our troops access to the best medical support services from the front lines all the way to the rear, and to our hospitals and other medical care. the battle casualties who were supported by the President with upscale prosthetics. Please stand up to be recognized. In addition, the President has also provided a housing program for our soldiers and their families. As of March 2019, 1,472 beneficiaries have been awarded with housing units in Cavite, Bohol, and Bulacan. To the men and women of the Philippine Army, we mark another good year of service because of your enduring values of honor, patriotism, and duty. Mabuhay ang hukbong katihan ng Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much to the Commanding General Philippine Army, sir. This event is highlighted by the conferment of awards in recognition of the meritorious achievements and exemplary performances contributing to the accomplishments of the Philippine Army's mandated mission. We shall move on with the presentation of awards. Our guest of honor, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, is requested to present the awards. The President will be assisted by Secretary of National Defense Delphine L. Lorenzana, National Security Advisor Secretary Hermogenes C. Esperon Jr., Chief of Staff, Armed Forces of the Philippines, General Benjamin R. Madrigal Jr., and the Commanding General, Philippine Army, Lieutenant General Macairog S. Alberto. For conspicuous acts of courage and gallantry in the face of armed and fierce enemies while serving as staff leader and the point man who took the lead during the assault at Building AA, despite being wounded in action twice during the course of operation and under enemy fires from the adjacent buildings occupied by Maute and Abu Sayyaf terrorists, which resulted to one enemy neutralized and the capture of 3 high-powered firearms to include 1 caliber 50 Barrett sniper rifle. The Distinguished Conduct Star is awarded to Sergeant Arnel S. Alberto, 839896 Infantry, Philippine Army. For conspicuous acts of courage and gallantry in the face of an armed enemy as gunner of the General Purpose Machine Gun, who occupied the vantage position and delivered automatic gunfires towards 4 different sniper positions that prevented more or less 80 members of the local terrorist group under Omar Maute to overrun their patrol base that led to the successful link-up with the reinforcing troops with 8 enemies neutralized, including Mati Maute, an unidentified Indonesian national. The Distinguished Conduct Star is awarded to Corporal Roel P. De Los Reyes, 798777, Infantry, Philippine Army. For conspicuous acts of courage and gallantry in the face of armed enemy while serving as a tail scout of the 1st Platoon, 11th Scout Ranger Company, 4th Scout Ranger Battalion, 1st Scout Ranger Regiment, Philippine Army, who fearlessly rescued his fatally wounded commanding officer and team leader during an immense firefight against more or less 20 ISIS-inspired Maute terrorists at Building 633 in Marawi City and risked his life 3 times to rescue his 2 comrades individually and recover their firearms and equipment. The Distinguished Conduct Star is awarded to Private Jerry N. Wasig, 926132 Infantry, Philippine Army. For gallantry in action as platoon leader of Scout Platoon 66th Infantry Battalion 10th Infantry Division Philippine Army, who conducted assault by fire through a 60-degree slope while cutting wires of improvised explosive device scattered along their path to successfully occupy a vantage position against a defensive position of undetermined number of members of the Guerrilla Front 25 Southern Regional Committee 1, Southern Mindanao Regional Committee, which resulted to 2 enemies neutralized, captured of 5 high-powered firearms and war material. The Gold Cross Medal is awarded to First Lieutenant Francis F. Hernaez, O-17344, Quartermaster, Philippine Army. For gallantry in action and leading the 1st Squad of Bravo Company, 83rd Infantry Battalion, 9th Infantry Division Philippine Army, who led an assault against undetermined number of fully armed communist NPA terrorists at Barangay Payak, Bato, Camarines Sur. That resulted to 3 enemies neutralized, 5 enemies captured, recovery of 3 high-powered firearms, war material, and subversive documents. The Gold Cross Medal is awarded to First Lieutenant William S. Hiponya Jr., O-17635 Infantry, Philippine Army. For gallantry in action as platoon leader of the 42nd Mechanized Infantry Company, 4th Mechanized Infantry Battalion, Mechanized Infantry Division, Philippine Army, who courageously dismounted troops in order to establish a strong battle position at their objective during an encounter against undetermined number of fully armed men at Barangay Lumba, Punod, Pantar, Lanao del Sur, which resulted to 3 enemies neutralized, including Omar Daiser, a notorious fugitive, local terrorist group member and drug pusher user, recovery of 5 high-powered firearms and war material. The Gold Cross Medal is awarded to First Lieutenant Antonio M. Cortez, O-141536, Cavalry, Philippine Army. For gallantry in action as Platoon Surgeon of Bravo Company, 8th Infantry Battalion, 4th Infantry Division, Philippine Army, who dauntlessly led the assault towards the enemy position during a running gun battle against more or less 40 members of the Communist NPA terrorists. During the assault, he administered first aid to a wounded enemy while under intense hostile fire, which resulted to one enemy captured, the recovery of 6 high-powered firearms, war material, medicines, and subversive documents. The Gold Cross Medal is awarded to Staff Sergeant Juljiri Abdurajik, 825504 Infantry, Philippine Army. Having been adjudged as the Philippine Army Enlisted Personnel of the Year, the command plaque is presented to Staff Sergeant Ramil G. Binoya, 804084 Infantry, Philippine Army. For having been adjudged as the Philippine Army CAFGU Active Auxiliary of the Year, the command plaque is presented to CAFGU Active Auxiliary Adrito C. Libradilla, Philippine Army. For having been adjudged as the Philippine Army Model Supervisor of the Year, the command plaque is presented to Ms. Rosemary O. Vilbar. For having been adjudged as the Philippine Army Model Employee of the Year, the command plaque is presented to Ms. Modest Joydeline M. Reyes. For having been adjudged as the Philippine Army Best Reservist Officer of the Year, the command plaque is presented to Lieutenant Colonel Suharto T. Mangudadatu, Odas 146377, Philippine Army Reserve. For having been adjudged as the Philippine Army Best Reservist Enlisted Personnel of the Year, the command plaque is presented to Private First Class Sherwin Cesar Adame, Philippine Army Reserve. For having been adjudged as the Philippine Army Best Male ROTC Cadet of the Year, the command plaque is presented to Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Lester Vic H. De Lima, First Class of St. Columban College ROTC Unit. For having been adjudged as the Philippine Army Best Female ROTC Cadet of the Year, the command plaque is presented to Cadet First Lieutenant Josephine V. Sambo, Second Class of Abra State Institute of Science and Technology ROTC Unit. Well, thank you very much to President Duterte, to Secretary Lorenzana, to the Chief of Staff, to the Commanding General, and of course to the National Security Advisor. Well, thank you, sirs. Please be seated. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for all the awardees. In line with the Morale and Welfare Program of the Philippine Army, 6 units of a 16-door condominium was constructed to provide 96 senior officers a decent dwelling for their families. Each door per unit has a 100 square meters floor area with 1 bedroom, with CR, 2 children's bedroom, 1 maid's room, 1 common CR, living and dining areas, laundry area, and a terrace with provision of ground parking and roof deck. Likewise, a 4-story multipurpose enlisted personnel condominium was constructed to accommodate 16 families of our enlisted personnel. Each door per unit has a total of 80 square meters floor area with 2 bedrooms, 1 common CR, living and dining areas, laundry area with provision of open parking. The identified recipients or awardees of the quarters were thoroughly screened and selected by the Philippine Army Housing Board. Among the awardees, 2 were pre-drawn through a raffle to receive the fully furnished units. On this occasion, we'll witness the handing over of the quarters keys to 2 military personnel, 1 from the officers and 1 from the enlisted personnel. We'd like now to request President Rodrigo Roa Duterte to hand over the keys to these recipients of the quarters. The President will be assisted by Secretary of National Defense, the National Security Advisor, the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and the Commanding General, Philippine Army. For the officer recipient, we have Colonel Perfecto P. Peñaredondo. For the enlisted personnel recipient, we have Master Sergeant James A. Doctolero. Well, thank you very much to the President, to the Secretary of National Defense, to the National Security Advisor, to the Chief of Staff, and the Commanding General. Congratulations to the recipients of the quarters. The guest of honor and speaker will now be introduced by Secretary Delphine N. Lorenzana, Department of National Defense.
Mga kaibigan at mga kababayan, ang ating mahal na Pangulo, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Kindly sit down. National Defense Secretary Delphine Lorenzana, Social Welfare and Development Secretary Rolando Bautista, National Security Advisor Hermogenes Esperon, and other members of the Cabinet. Nandito po si UPAP at si ating Secretary sa spokesman, Galvez, and si tumingin ka nga dito, Sal, Panelo, Secretary Panelo. Lieutenant General Benjamin Madrigal Jr., Lieutenant General Macairog Alberto, the officers, enlisted personnel, and civilian employees of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to join you today as we celebrate this 122 foundation anniversary of the Philippine Army. I congratulate our brave men and women in uniform for the significant milestone in the organization. Indeed, your accomplishments in both internal security and civil military operations in many parts of the country are a testament to your unwavering commitment to defend our institutions and our democratic way of life. Through the unrelenting efforts, you have successfully conducted more than 550 operations, resulting in the recovery of almost 6,000 firearms, the neutralization of more than 600 families of the state, enemies rather, I'm sorry, because of my eyes, the state. The surrender and capture and apprehension of more than 1,700 lawless elements. May these gains inspire you, our valiant soldiers, to never waver in your commitment to perform your duties. Intensify our focused military operations against communist terrorist groups so that alongside our civilian military operations, we may persuade more of their members to surrender and return to the folds of the law. May I just deviate from this speech, prepared one. I am officially announcing the permanent termination of our talks between the government panel and the Communist Party of the Philippines. I would like to announce that I am no longer entertaining any interventions or maybe persuasions in this democratic state of the Republic of the Philippines. My sense is that you can maybe talk to the next president of this republic one day. It is indeed very important to engage stakeholders and communities in combating insurgency and preventing the spread of extremist ideologies. And I believe that empowering indigenous peoples, among others, in this regard is the key to this fight. You know, I have to date distributed something like 160,000 hectares to land beneficiaries. The only way to make the issue of communism and, of commonality of things is that you make them irrelevant. And sinasabi ko naman sa komunista, hindi lang man kayo ang marunong mag-distribute ng lupa. I have been at it actually ever since I became president. And fortunately, I do it in such a way that I do not bring any publicity with me. Kung saan pumupunta ako ng gabi, for example, like Boracay, there were many speculations about what government would intend to do after the rehabilitation of the beach and the sea itself. There were many speculations about giving it to gambling casinos and everything. I just kept quiet. But when the completion was done by the Secretary of Tourism, si Berna, si Roy, si Mato, pati si Ed Anyo sa local government, I immediately declared the land behind the beach area as a land reform area. Lahat ng lupa sa Boracay sa likod now belongs to the ETAs, to the natives. Binigay ko lahat sa kanila. And so, I was also in Sagay, and there was this shooting incident, if you may remember, actually about 2 months ago. Itong mga komunista were quick to blame that it was done by the military. Always ganon eh. Yun ang paano nila. So, alam ko na sila yun. That they were just fighting for the possession. It's not only other people are land grabbers. The communists are. So yung mga asosasyon nila amongst the inner group, yung mga manggagawa sa walang ginagawa, then they try to fish out the lands that they would give to the people. Yung nangyari doon was they were depriving the original tenants there because they wanted the association to control the distribution. And that is why my orders, and this was made possible because of this the lousy job done by Secretary Mariano of the DAR, yung okupasyon. And so every available vacant lot that they would come upon, they tried to just go ahead and occupy it. And I had to give the warning that if you do that, I will order the soldiers and the police to shoot you and to shoot you dead. Huwag kayong mangagaw at itong lahat ng lupa, I have 3 years to go. I will give all government lands to all the people of Filipino. Yan ang, that was my commitment during the campaign. One of the most important, and I remember, ginagawa ko, I am into land reform. The problem is, yung mga, tapos na ang land reform eh. But the problem is, yung mga original owners by some fiat or whatever strategy, they kept on resisting the occupation of the lands by the awardees, the tenants. And so my orders there was just to put them into possession. That's the law we cannot avoid it. It's not my law, it's the law of Corazon Aquino. Sabi ko, ilagay ninyo talaga ang tao niya. And so those warring factions there were part of the awardees when I went to Sagay. Nighttime. I did not bring any, I said, nobody from the media. I just wanted to work simply, sans the publicity, because I find it very corny for me to be announcing the things that I do because there is no need for it. I am really paid by government to do exactly what I am doing. I do not need the publicity of anybody. Whether I like it or not, I have to do it because it is my duty to implement the law. With your untiring loyalty to the flag and to the overwhelming support of our people, I have no doubt that we will win the war against those who seek to sow terror in our communities, especially in the countryside. As your Commander-in-Chief, I assure you of your government's unwavering commitment to improve your capabilities to the second horizon of the revised AFP modernization program, which we intend to implement until 2022. I'd like to say something about, but I would come out as a Brugadasyo. I'm just worried, I said, I'd like to call upon the soldiers and the police. I do not know what is tomorrow. I am not saying that I'm the only one capable. There are a lot of us who share the responsibility of governance. Me, just keeping order, by just on paper working on the things that where we should govern most effective. Meron lang akong kunting, kasi I do not, well, leaves a bad taste in the mouth, but I said I do not know who would be the next president. I'd like to see somebody in the horizon, and until now I'm searching. And I said that if we are not sure of what the tomorrow is, since we already have this, tapusin na natin ito. I'd like to finish this war, both Abu Sayyaf, pati komunista, and the drug problem in about 3 years. God willing, we'll be able maybe just not really completely eradicate it, but reduce the activities or the illegal trade and the fighting to the barest minimum. Hindi ko kasi alam kung sino ang nakikita ko na kaya medyo andito na rin ako at may kunting panahon pa naman. Tapusin na natin to para and I'm not saying that I'm the only one. I said it's really all would depend on you guys. The thing is the manner in which how to make it make a representation to the public, because I guarantee you under my term, I have said I assume full responsibility for all that would happen as a consequence of enforcing the law, whether against the criminals, the drugs traffickers, or the rebels would want to destroy government. This administration will likewise continue to promote your welfare and that of your families through housing programs, such as the 4-story enlisted personnel condominium and the section unit condominium building for married senior Army officers, which we just completed this month. We target to complete by June another 5 condominium buildings for the senior Army officers and their families. I assure you that we will continue to pursue these programs as an expression of the Filipino people's appreciation for all that you have done for our country. Indeed, we are truly indebted to you for risking life and limb for love of country. It is with gratitude that I say this to you. And with our firm commitment and solidarity in this important fight, I have no doubt that we will be able to combat those who seek to undermine the gains of our republic. Together, let us keep our communities and our nation safe, secure, and peaceful for the sake of this country and of our children and of our fellow Filipinos. Let's do it. Tapusin na natin ito lahat para sa ating bayan. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Well, this formally ends the 122nd founding anniversary celebration of the Philippine Army. Mabuhay ang Philippine Army, to one and all, happy anniversary. Well, I would just like to request everyone to please remain until the President has left the hall.
Out ko, lang. Yung out ko yun. Sign sa ba? Joseph. Pwede lang ha.
Uy.
Dali lang para makalapit ako.
Yes. I'll kindly limit your question to 150. 150. Guest speaker ako ng Chinese Federation sa SMF.
Yes.
Tungkol lang po dun sa kay Chairman Nur Miswari. He said that he's going to
Yes,
launch a war.
because he's fighting a revolution. He has slowed down because he wants to talk. And the original agreement, I think that was assurance given to him by Cory Aquino was that there will be a federal system that would govern this country. I mean, this structure. And he is sticking to that agreement. And tapos naman yung federalism na being crafted by Congress. Maybe somehow we can craft the setup within the federal structures. Pero it has to go into a process, and I'm sure Chairman Miswari knows that everything must be in accordance with the Constitution.
Sir, hindi naman po siya, he's not talking about territories, no? I mean, owning...
Well, kung ano ang labas ng federalism, we'll just have to craft something there that would be allowed by the Constitution and by law. Yes.
Sir, may we just get your reaction to the case filed by former Secretary Relsario and Conchita Carpio? They filed the case before the ICC over the South China Sea dispute over China's militarization.
Well, I said they are entitled to file the case. They are Filipino citizens. And I think we'll just also have to defend our position vis-a-vis sa kanila. They think they have a good case, and I would say that there is no jurisdiction over this country and of China. Mas lalo nasa China, so we will just go along that line. Jurisdiction.
Sir, si President Xi Jinping ng China po yung respondent. Will it not jeopardize yung relationship ng Philippines and China?
No, I'm sure they don't. That the Philippines is a democratic country, and anybody can bring a suit against anybody. But whether or not it would be prosper, or whether or not we have the jurisdiction, that's something else.
Sir, good evening po.
Remember, China is not a member of the ICC.
Yes.
Dito, we did not withdraw. We did not withdraw because there was no law at all because of the fraud that it violated the Constitution. Publication of the law is very important, so that the people would know that there is such a law. Kung hindi mo i-publish yan, magsasabi, paano, alam namin, kayo lang dyan sa Congress eh. By publishing it, it puts everybody on constructive notice na merong batas. That's what happened to me. I tried to acquire jurisdiction over my person, but they forgot to publish the law. And so the Supreme Court in Tanyada versus Tuvera, Supreme Court said part of the due process is really, due process is there, that no man shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Kaya pag wala yan, walang publication, patay.
Sir, what do you want the MWSS to report to you on April 10?
I will not make a prejudgment. I ask them, everybody concerned, to submit a report by April 10, and I will decide before April 15. Decide on... Anong nangyari? Who was responsible for it? Was there negligence or was there really something which is beyond the competence of the WSS to control?
You think honesty should be an election issue?
Ang
Honesty, sir. Should it be an issue?
tubig,
Honesty, sir.
honesty,
As an election issue.
depends. Depends. If you're hanging by the thread, of what good use would it be if it just create trouble? There are things left unsaid, and there are things which you answer correctly. Okay?
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ingat, sir. Ingat.
Sorry, guys.
Ano yung sinabi niya kay Nor? Hindi ko nag-guess yung Nor. Anong point ng Nor?
Wait lang.
Walang bago. Kasi bakit parang inulit niya lang na parang...
Pero I was na-record ni Christina, hingi tayo.
Yung exit natin for the media partners.